everyone, and welcome to another episode of It's News to Me. I'm your host, Anastasia Gilardi.
And I'm Sophie Shamarzadi. Today we'll be highlighting the important news and events happening worldwide, nationwide, and right here in our community.
On Wednesday, July 6th, it was announced that the 6'4", 13-year Miami Heat veteran shooting guard Dwyane Wade will be signing a 2-year deal with the Chicago Bulls in the beginning of this upcoming season. The deal is worth $47.5 million. Wade was also considering the Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks. However, he chose to come back home to the Windy City. Yes, Dwyane Wade grew up in the South Chicago suburbs and attended Richards High School in Oak Lawn. The 34-year-old NBA veteran has just come off yet another strong season as he led the Heat within one game of the Eastern Finals. D. Wade averaged 19 points per game, 14.6 assists, and 4.1 rebounds in the regular season. This big news comes just about a week after the Bulls also signed Rajon Rondo, the former Boston Celtic. Now, the trio of Rondo, Wade, and Jimmy Butler will be sure to excite Chicago fans and raise local and national attention.
The U.S. Space Agency has successfully put a new probe into orbit around Jupiter. The Juno satellite left Earth 5 years ago, complete with a fire rocket engine, to slow its approach to the planet and help it catch Jupiter's gravity. Scientists plan to use the spacecraft to sense the planet's deep interior. They believe the chemistry and structure of its insides hold the clues to how this giant world formed some 4.5 billion years ago. Engineers have warned in advance that the engine firing was fraught with danger. Though the radiation danger has not yet gone away, the probe should be able to prepare its instruments to start sensing what lies beneath Jupiter's dense clouds.
Now let's hear from Haley O'Brien with the Park Bench.
Hello, I'm Haley O'Brien, Marketing Intern for the Batavia Park District, and welcome to the Park Bench. I'm here today bringing you Park District news at the renovated Engstrom Park. Summer is about halfway through, but don't worry because there's still so much to do. We hope you have been able to join us this summer for the River Rhapsody concert series, but if you haven't, don't worry, there are still a handful of concerts left for the summer. The River Rhapsody is free, family-friendly, and is featured on select Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. throughout the summer at the Batavia Riverwalk. A wide variety of local and regional talent will be featured, and we would love you to come enjoy these last few performances. Coming up on the 13th of July, join Johnny Wrestler and the Beach Bum Band for some tropical sounds of Caribbean rock, reggae, and calypso. Visit www.bataviaparks.org for the full summer concert lineup. Don't forget, our paddle boats on the Fox River are open until September 4th. Our paddle boat seats up to 4 people, so you can use all 4 seats for friends and family or maybe have a romantic date night on the water. New this year are our electric boats. You must be 18 years or older to take one of these on a spin. You can come enjoy a leisurely ride on the Fox Monday through Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 6 p.m. Speaking of water, there is only one tween night at the Quarry Left this summer. This will take place at 400 South Water Street on Thursday, July 28th from 6 to 8 p.m. The cost is $5. Come enjoy open swim, beach ball and volleyball, and concessions for an additional fee. The Batavia Quilt and Textile Show is now only 1 week away. Join us July 15th through 17th at the Eastside Community Center at 14 North Van Buren Street for a crafty day brought to you by the Batavia Depot Museum. Developed to help fund new exhibits and programs, this beautiful show began in July 2007. The show has continued to grow and features over 150 beautiful quilts made by local quilters, a vendor hall that features new products and demonstrations, and more. Enjoy our commemorative themed quilts this year, and anyone with a military ID gets into the show for free. For more information and the full show schedule, visit www.bataviaquiltshow.com. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you this summer. We'll see you next time on the Park Bench.
Just one short month to go until the 2016 Summer Olympics, and officials in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, have declared a state of emergency. When announcing the state of public calamity, State Governor Francis Dornelles said that the crisis may lead to a total collapse in public security, health, education, mobility, and environmental management. By declaring the state of emergency, the city will be able to receive emergency funding from the federal government. However, only time will tell if it's all too little, too late. 5 months back, the greatest concerns with the Games were the Zika virus, polluted waters, and unfinished venues. Now, not only have these problems not been solved, but there's a laundry list of even more issues in Rio, such as superbacteria, unpaid police officers, the impeachment of President Dilma Rousseff back in May, and the concern that thousands of families have lost their homes due to Olympic construction. In late June, a photo was released to the media of tourists and athletes being greeted by a sign that read, "Welcome to hell. Police and firefighters don't get paid. Whoever comes to Rio de Janeiro will not be safe." All of these factors have even forced some Olympic competitors to stay home and wait another 4 years for the Games.
The growing panic concerning the Zika virus is receiving mass attention from not only Brazil, but also scientists and citizens alike. Scientists are taking a stand to lessen the threat that is the Zika virus with a new approach, genetically modified mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are given a self-limiting gene as well as a fluorescent marker. Scientists then only send out the males who don't bite or transmit disease to repopulate with females. All the females' offspring will then contract the self-limiting gene and die off. The scientists can't construct the data to know if it will work for sure unless they conduct a field trial. The scientists concluded the best place to gather the data is in Key Haven, Florida. There's only one problem. Key Haven is populated not only by mosquitoes, but by the owners of the 444 homes there. Key Haven is littered with signs brandishing the phrase "no consent" from the citizens that believe they should not have to be the lab rats for the scientists' tests. Petitions have been signed and now containing signatures that add up to twice the amount of people that live in Key Haven. Residents will vote on a referendum this November on whether to go forward with the trial.
Now here's Check It Out with Michelle Martzell.
Hello, I'm Michelle Martzell, Promotional Services Manager here at the Batavia Public Library. The library is offering 3 entertaining programs for adults during the next 2 weeks. These programs illustrate the variety of programming offered at your public library. For music lovers, the library presents a concert by Tom Sharp at 2 p.m. on Sunday, July 10th. Tom Sharp is an award-winning composer, probably best known as the drummer for the Grammy Award-winning group Mannheim Steamroller. Sharp will perform his own original music on keyboard, drums, and a variety of other instruments, sometimes all at once. His performance promises to be a percussive symphony. Registration is required. Please register online at bataviapubliclibrary.org or by calling the reference desk. Next up is a program for foodies with a sweet tooth. On Tuesday, July 19th at 7 p.m., pastry chef Rose Deneen will share her secrets for decorating cupcakes for summer parties and special events throughout the year. Deneen will offer some delicious samples and some of her favorite recipes during the program. Please register for this program soon because space is limited. Register online or by calling the reference desk. For art lovers and ancient history buffs, the library presents An Army for Eternity, China's Terracotta Warriors, at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, July 20th. Art historian Jeff Mischer returns to the library to talk about a current exhibit at Chicago's Field Museum. Throughout 2016, the Field Museum is hosting a rare tour of ancient terracotta figures from the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. During this slide lecture, Mischer will explain the process used to create these mighty figures and the other objects in the exhibit. Registration is required. Please register online at bataviapubliclibrary.org or by calling the reference desk. Music, food, and art. Take your pick or register for all 3. Please visit the library's online calendar to find July programs for children, teens, and young adults, as well as a schedule of computer classes for adults. I'm Michelle Martzell, and I hope to see you at the library.
On Wednesday, July 6th, the courts made it official that former Secretary of State and current presidential candidate Hillary Clinton will not be charged for using a personal email server during her tenure as Secretary of State. Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus called the decision a slap in the face to the many Americans entrusted with classified information who play by the rules, and those who have been punished for lesser offenses. Other officials who have committed these offenses have had their security clearances revoked, lost their jobs, faced fines, and even have been sent to prison. The decision may end the legal concern for Clinton, however, will not end the political concern and influence it has had on voting citizens. Additionally, in Charlotte, North Carolina, on Tuesday, July 5th, President Barack Obama made it clear that he officially backs the Clinton campaign. During the president's speech, he said that American voters face a critical choice between some imaginary past or whether we are going to reach for the future.
Before bringing you more newsworthy stories, let's check in with BATV intern Rachel for Rachel's Retail Run.
Hi, I'm Rachel Goodman, and welcome to this week's edition of Rachel's Retail Run. Today, I'm at 715 Vintage, where many vintage goods are sold by various dealers. Let's check it out.
Donetta McGrath has been antiquing since she was a teenager. Since moving to Batavia 30 years ago, she opened 715 Vintage with her neighbor, Jamie, 4 years ago. Each of the 12 dealers provides a unique addition to the store.
Our backdrop is Annie and Andy Kenny, and they make their own candles. They're here in Batavia. They're just a young, energetic, really awesome couple. And they do, as you can see, they just have all types of vintage that they also mix in with their candles. There are farmhouse antiques, there's mid-century antiques, there's country antiques. There's just such a mixture with 12 different dealers. It's a great mix and a great opportunity for people to come in and try to find a treasure.
Donetta works closely with each of her dealers and has built a strong relationship with all of them.
You get to know people and you get to share the energy and the passion that you have in antiquing and finding these treasures.
Amanda Spark, one of Donetta's dealers, owns the Rivers Run collection.
I decided to turn a hobby into a little bit more than a hobby, try to sort of recoup a lot of the investment that I made in refinishing furniture and just finding unique items. I finally found my niche. I found, what I enjoy doing.
Though the store is full right now, dealers are always welcome.
If there's somebody that's looking for a venue, an opportunity to start their own little business, come in, give us your name, tell us what you do. But right now we are full.
Occasionally, there are special events, and once in a while, some dealers decide to put their items on sale.
Right now we're focusing on September. That will be our anniversary sale. And also we'll be doing a flea market at that same time in conjunction with the anniversary sale. Unfortunately, my partner Jamie is moving. She's moving out of state, and she has a sale in her booth right now. And periodically people will, they'll just want to bring in some new things, so they'll put some things on sale. Yeah.
Donetta's favorite part of her job is meeting the people and finding the treasures. Visit 715 Vintage at 715 Main Street, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5, and Sunday, 12 to 5.
As Ramadan came to a close, Baghdad was struck with a week of terror. As of Tuesday, July 5th, there were 215 plus killed in a suicide bombing. According to officials, there are at least 81 bodies that cannot be identified due to their bodily burns. Many are still in search of their loved ones. However, some who look for their relatives are not finding any trace of them at all. Most think that the terrorist act was committed by ISIS. However, no one has yet taken responsibility.
Now let's go to the Municipal Minute.
Hi, I'm Bill McGrath, the City Administrator, and today is Wednesday, July 6th. This is this week's edition of the Municipal Minute. As always, there's a lot going on in the city. First of all, I wanted to remind everybody about our brush pickup program. The next pickup on the east side is the week of July 11th. You have to have your brush out in as big a pile as you can muster for our machines to pick up by 7 o'clock that Monday morning. That's Monday, July 11th. The west side will have its brush picked up a week later, Monday, July 18th. After that, there will be a pickup on August 8th on the east side and August 15th on the west side. These dates and all the details can be found on the city's website. Maybe the most important news is that the city last night at the council meeting entered into an employment agreement with Laura Newman, who is a Batavia resident, to be the next city administrator, as I'm going to be retiring after August 1st. Laura is an attorney by training. She has worked in the private sector in HR for a corporation, has also worked in a law firm relating to public sector employment. Very bright and talented, and I think she'll be doing a really good job for the city and working with the department heads to provide services and carry out the policies that the City Council believes are important for this community. So welcome to her. She started here today. She's off on a tour with the mayor now of the entire city, and of course after that meeting with all the department heads and getting the lists of things to read and being brought up to speed on the events and goings on here at the city. Last week, the city staff met with the Batavia Park District staff to discuss issues relating to the erosion on the river because this impacts some of the Park District's property as well, and to talk about the impacts that any change to the North Dam might have on the Depot Pond. So they've scheduled a work session with the City Council that will be coming up. The City Council is starting their July 18th meeting at 6 o'clock instead of the usual 7:30, so that they have an hour-and-a-half work session with the Batavia Park District Board to talk about making sure that the Depot Pond is protected if and when the dam is removed or the dam has some kind of catastrophic failure. The Park District Board also wants to discuss the proposed flag memorial, which is to be located somewhere in the downtown. So if you're interested in either of those two topics, you can come next on Monday, July 18th at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers. The Baptist Church, or the former Baptist Church at the corner of Wilson Street and North Washington Avenue, has been the topic of a lot of work over the last several months, if not years. The city has been trying to redevelop that property and unfortunately hasn't been able to come up with anyone who had a plan that really could be pulled off, especially if the current buildings were saved. We have, though, over the last several months been working with a developer for a redevelopment project on the site, and this will require that the Baptist Church, its school addition, and another building in the middle of the block that the city owns to be demolished. The city will be appearing before the Historic Preservation Commission to discuss the history of the building's acquisition by the city to try and assist IDOT. IDOT's abandonment of a plan to take the jog out of Route 25, our attempts to try and redevelop, and then finally the acknowledgement after an engineering and structural study that the Baptist Church really has some problems. And after trying to find someone to redevelop it, the City Council decided that the potential to find somebody just wasn't worth the investment that the City Council would have to make in excess of $1 million to try and keep the building safe for some unknown time. So the building is beginning to be unsafe. We've asked our tenants who had some minimal storage there to leave, and we'll be bringing a redevelopment agreement in front of the Committee of the Whole possibly next week to discuss a redevelopment project. You should keep an eye on the agenda for next Tuesday, the 12th, and see if it appears on that agenda. We're waiting to see whether we can get drafts of the redevelopment agreement done in time to have a meaningful discussion. And I'm certain this will be discussed at least 2 or 3 Committee of the Whole meetings. Will be quite exciting and bring some new people to live downtown, provide some new commercial space, as well as provide some additional public parking in that area. The Blue Goose, I know people have heard a lot about that project. The staff has retained, or the City Council retained, a consultant to talk with the Batavia Enterprises about their request for some financial support for that project. Our consultant is meeting with the Batavia Enterprises consultant this week to take a look at all the financials and look at the backup so they can advise the City Council as to whether or not financial assistance is appropriate in this matter, and if it is, the extent to which that support should be given. The electric utility, one of only about 80 in the state of Illinois, which is actually owned by a co-op or a municipality, received some national recognition from the American Public Power Association for being in the top 25% of all public utilities in the nation. This is in terms of reliability. Only Batavia, Geneva, and Wilmette met this standard from Illinois in 2015, so that's something we can all be proud of. And the utilities record for outages is among the top of the country. There's been a lot of talk about water quality across the country lately, and the Batavia Environmental Commission has partnered up with the Batavia Water Utility to give some tours and presentations about the quality of city water. On Saturday, July 16th, at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m., there will be conducted tours and presentations at the Batavia Water Treatment Facility. The water treatment facility is located just west of Wenmouth Road, which is about half a mile west of Randall Road, and on the south side of Fabian Parkway. So take Randall to Fabian, go just past Wenmouth, and it's on the left-hand side, set way back. There's a sign, and you can go there at 10 or 12 p.m. John Dillon, our water and sewer superintendent, will give a short presentation of the history of the water utility and give a treatment of the plant. It'll show where our water comes from, how it's treated, how it makes it to your faucet at home. And we're very pleased that the Environmental Commission and the water utility are doing this with all the questions that have been raised lately about water quality. So that's about all for this week's Municipal Minute, and thank you and have a good week.
The Windmill City Fest has taken off and will end on July 10th. On Saturday, there will be a farmer's market, craft show and flea market, touch a truck, pet parade, park district demonstrations, fencing, golf challenge, pedal and electric boats on the Riverwalk, diaper derby, live band karaoke, sidewalk chalk drawing contest, bags tournaments, the New Invaders Band, Seventh Heaven, Aura, a new classic rock cover band, and as always, the beer gardens, food booths, and carnival. As a closer on Sunday, there will be a craft show and flea market, carnival, beer gardens, food booths, Chuck the Duck Race, an ice cream eating contest will be held, as well as a fire hose challenge. And the night will feature Hillbilly Rockstars, Chicago's own country sugar group, as well as Miles Nelson. All admission to the Windmill City Fest is free.
That's all we have for today, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of It's News to Me. Most of our programming is viewable online at mybatv.com or on YouTube under the username BATV1017. Be sure to like our Facebook page to stay up to date on the station's current happenings. Thanks again for watching. I'm Anna Gilardi.
And I'm Sophie Shamarzadi.
And that's News to Me.